Go.
I think the most effective way to increase the bottom line for farmers and fishers is through marketing. And our provincial government has pledged to implement a new fisheries product development and marketing agency that will promote, help the industry promote itself. And I think the more markets you have, and the better, the more buyers you have in the wharfs, and the more buyers you have at our farm gates buying our product, that the better off the farmer and fisher are going to be with the bottom line. And I think where we live in a province where fishing and farming are our primary industries, I think going into the future we're in a pretty good position here in Prince Edward Island, because we do have the best food products in the world and the safest food products in the world. And as the global market expands and grows, there's going to be more and more of a demand for those products, which in turn should make our province a better overall province to live in.
Farming and fishing, what we think we have to do with the farming and fishing, to me, is we got to first of all go sit down with them and then let them tell us what we think we should be doing. That's the most important part to me. Take it back to my party and see what we can do, and starts from there. There's no sense of promise and everything, because we're not sure what kind of a financial statement we're in. It's pretty rough, I would say, but first of all, like I said, we got to go back and listen to the farming and fishing and take it down to our party, and starts from there.
3, go.
What would I do to improve the bottom line of farmers and fishermen? Well, I think if farmers got into a little bit more of organic farming, that would improve their bottom line. And I think fishermen, I think if they could clean up the Charlottetown Harbour, and that would help the oyster fishermen a good deal. That's about all I can think of right now.
2, 3, go.
Well, I think we have to work with the primary sectors, the farmers and the fishers, as we have been doing all along. And I think we've put out in the past 4 years a number of policies that helped farmers and fishermen cope with the markets in the world and the downturn in the economies. But we have to continue to work in product development, market diversification, and certainly we have to work with the farmers and the fishers to get the bottom line up, so that they get a base price for their product that they can all make a living for. We've got some good policies coming up where we're going to reinstate the Land Development Corporation for the farmers. We've put in the Future Fisher program and the low interest loan program for fishers. We will continue to work in that area, but in order to get the bottom line up, I think we have to work on product diversification, market diversification, and marketing our products in new areas around the world where we strengthen our markets and probably diversify away from the US market a bit. But certainly we have to work in those areas. We've come a long way with rationalization and in the fishery, and the new program with the Future Fisher program is an excellent program. We will continue with the low interest loan program, and any areas in that capacity, we've already changed the regulations so a buyer can come on the wharf within 3 days to buy product from the fishery, and we've allowed fishers to sell their product by giving them a peddler's license right out of their boat. So certainly those things have all helped, but we have to continue and work in product development and market diversification. And with our program, we've already put in $4 million in those areas, and certainly want to continue to move forward and work with them all in those areas.
Go.
What will I do to improve the bottom line for our island farmers and fishermen? Our PC government has committed to working with farmers and fishers, to listen to farmers and fishers, to work with our federal counterparts, to come up with a strategic plan to help prices.
Go.
We are committed to giving farmers and fishermen a strong voice by moving large-scale processors out of agriculture and fishing portfolios. We want to work with farmers and fishermen. We have to listen to the fishermen and the farmers and involve them in the process of marketing. We have to work with our federal government to establish a greater working relationship and to stabilize the price of our primary industries. We have to allow farm-plated vehicles on our highway to use marked fuel.
Go.
With the farming industry, our farmers have enough product to actually sustain a good income whenever it comes to the almond. Whenever our stores have enough of the almond product, then we'll look at expanding to the Atlantic provinces across Canada, then out towards other countries around the world. But whenever it comes to the fishing industry, a lot of our lobsters are now being imported from Maine and sold as almond product. A lot of the fishermen around this area actually do believe the low cost of the lobsters are because of the imports from Maine, and that is drastically affecting the cost of living for each of these fishermen.
2, 3, go.
Government's role in assisting farmers and fishing and trying to assist them with improving the bottom line of their commodities is somewhat very limited. Governments don't dictate the price of a commodity. Those are usually determined by the free market forces throughout North America, the world, or even within Canada. So I think the role that a provincial government has to play is to try to encourage people to get involved in a commodity or an industry. We've done that with the Future Fisher program and the Young Farmer program. It's also to try to provide some of the services to make those industries be as competitive as they possibly can within the province and within their community. I believe we've done some of those things with lowering electricity rates. We've also done that with decreasing the fuel tax in the past. And in future, I think we need to do some things around land to allow new farmers or expanding farmers to be able to access land at reasonable values and not allow that land to go out of production, especially good farmland. I think in the forestry industry we need to be looking at encouraging our government to plant more trees, because those are great investments into the future, plus they're an assistance to the environment, as well as to allow our watershed groups to work with industries in agriculture and the fishing industry to make sure that our environment is as conducive as it can be to get the bountiful harvests that our farmers and fishers require. So we've done that with a number of programs, with like enhanced crop insurance programs, the agri-innovation program, where farmers can get windmills or alternate energy sources to help them be more competitive in the marketplace. But in general, it's very difficult to provide a guaranteed price on a commodity when you also deal in a global marketplace today.
Go.
On farmers, we're dairy farmers here, and my father farmed, actually 5th generation farmers here, and government can't be throwing money as in the form of grants to farmers. We need long-term commitments on for marketing and things of that nature. I'm very pleased the government put the money into the beef plant in Borden. It's a signature beef for Atlantic Canada and the Maritimes. We're proud supporters of it. And in fisheries, I see the struggles that fishermen have today. Pricing, output costs. Output costs are way too high for what they bring in, as in lobsters or fish. Pricing for lobsters, in my opinion, has to, fishermen have to be involved in it. They're not involved today. You know, prices are set by buyers and processors with no consultation from fishermen whatsoever. So how can fishermen expect a fair price when they're not involved in the pricing aspect of it?
Go.
The Robert Gibbs platform for the two primary industries of agriculture and fisheries will help improve some of the bottom line for those two crucial industries. Through the ALICE program, we're investing more money for farmers to help develop their land. We are working with them on new crop development. Our fishers program, our young fishers program is going to continue. We have the low interest loan program still in effect for fishers. As well, we are developing a new marketing and product development agency that will assist the fishers and in the industry to develop more markets across the globe.
2, 3, go.
Cindy, what I'm hearing at the door from the farmers and the fishermen in our area, in District 23, the government always stands up and says how important farming and fishing is to PEI. The response for the government, if the farmers and the fishermen are important, work with us, not against us.